Kamaka Brown here with Sandwich Island Social Network, and I'm here with just a good friend all the way from San Diego. Oh, San Diego, Kauka Stanley, right here. You just returned from
37 to 38.
38,
But yeah,
and he's saying it so nonchalantly over here. A tour.
yeah. So the tour that I just did was for Disney Live to Film concert series, where I was working with some of the world-renowned musicians for Moana, and we did kind of a first of its kind, a Polynesian-inspired like Moana concert where we kind of played the full frame-by-frame motion picture movie. We were working directly with the film score from Emmanuel and everybody, and we're adding our parts, working directly with the sheet music, sight reading, 2 hours worth of music, and working with Polynesian instruments that we provided, whether it be guitar, bass, but then all of our, tuere, papu, all the drum stuff.
Amazing.
A phenomenal vocalist, a good friend of mine, Rina Sosapina, and a world-renowned flautist that had 22 different flutes just for the arrangement, 3 conchels. Yeah, it was
Okay, for those who don't know, a flautist is on flute player.
not a flauta. I know you're hungry out there. Okay, me too. Yeah.
How big was how many music? Many?
Yeah.
Total.
So the cast in terms of the musicians,
Yeah.
not referring to the bus drivers,
Right,
all
right.
that stuff. We just had a cast of 9 musicians for
Okay.
this, but our team was closer to almost 15 people, including tour manager, stage director, sound engineer, and stuff. Merch guy, work girl. But within our 9 musicians, we had 114 input channels for microphone, whether it be drum area captures, vocal mics. For me, as one of the leads, I had a talkback microphone. And for everybody wondering how we're able to capture and work directly with the score, we're working directly with these large monitor screens that had visual stimuluses, letting us know where the kind of click track or tempo's at,
Okay.
while working with the actual film score directly for our parts, and be able to add kind of more of our own emotion into it as you got to do it 37, 38, 39 times within a period of 2 months. And so yeah, we had to travel. It was just the North America tour, so starting from the East Coast, went to the West Coast, and then back out to the East Coast. And for those wondering, yes, there are some states that I forgot the acronyms of what state was what. So it was really humbling for me. And normally I only travel back to Hawaii, or stay on the coast, or of course the Ninth Island, Vegas.
Yeah.
So it was really nice getting to go to certain places that typically I wouldn't go to. But
Yeah.
I think that was one of the most impactful parts for me was, of course, getting to play in our hometowns and all that stuff, and play at the Disney Hall, Disney World Amphitheater, and all these places that I grew up idolizing. But for me, it was really nice getting to go to the places that really we didn't see a lot of our Polynesian people,
Sure.
but still seeing the places full of people that love our culture. And or going to places that when I see some Kamaka and stuff, like they'd be like, we just drove 5 hours just to come here to watch you guys. Like things like that for me, and that means the world, because of course we take it for granted here on the West Coast that we always are going back and forth and get to be connected, but to a lot of other places, their connection is movies. Their connection is our sounds or our soundtrack. So it's really nice for me, getting to go to those kind of places just as much as getting to go to places that we already know. So
Yeah.
it was.
So tell me this: do you still dream on your cues and whatever? Can you still visualize that in your mind after 30 plus performances?
So I would say great question. My normal answer would have been yes,
Oh.
but being that my wife and we had baby girl the very next day, I finished the tour. The only thing I can think about is because I don't sleep, so I'm not dreaming. Is my girl, and then of course performing. So that seemed like a completely different lifetime ago.
Baby girl comes first.
Yeah,
You're right.
and
You're right.
so that saves me from that. I'm not having PTSD moments thinking of the score, but I will say I learned a lot about the Moana movie, having watched it many times.
Wait. So you came home on tour, and then when was baby born?
Yeah, so I finished the tour November 30th in Miami,
Uh-huh.
then flew back to San Diego. There was in natural, form I had a layover in Chicago and it was snowing, so we had some flight delays.
Okay.
And I said I just want to get home. To which I got home later that evening. The very next day, my wife and I we had our little OBGYN checkup appointment.
Yeah.
Baby's still not due for almost 2 weeks. But then my wife was already about 4 centimeters dilated, and they said, we're going to admit you today, and you're going to have baby probably tonight or tomorrow. Meanwhile, all of my bags were still in suitcases, stroller, crib, car seat, were still in boxes because I've been gone. But for me, that's just a true testament of one, just divine timing, and two, just everything always working out. And that was, of course, a stressor of mine before I originally said no to the tour, because when Disney first, put it on my radar, they wanted me to help be a part of the project. I said, "Oh, it sounds great. When do you want to do it?" They're like, "Oh, fall or winter." And I said, "My baby's coming in winter, so I'm out."
I'm out of here. Yeah.
And I nonchalantly brought up to my wife, and she is actually the one that kind of told me, "Hey, stupid, you better do it." Yeah. And so I did it with the understanding and stipulation with the producers that if I get any call, text, anything from the doctor, wife, family, I don't care what state we're in, I'm gone. But it just worked. I just finished, flew out the very next day. I got to be there. I got to watch one of the most beautiful thing ever happened in my life.
Well,
And then,
congratulations.
my baby girl is now here. So,
Yeah.
7 weeks old. Yeah.
Wow. Wow. During COVID, I was tracking you, Rob, because you were putting out these solo ukulele songs, some jazz, some standards, some reggae, on that, and beautiful, beautiful music. Anything on your mind besides being a brand new father, brand new papa over here, musically for you?
Yeah. Always keeping busy. Definitely doing a lot more recording. I have a House of Blues concert. I'm helping a great friend of mine and musician and human being, Davina Lufau. We're doing the House of Blues concert San Diego, February 13th, Friday, and then Saturday, Valentine's Day, Anaheim. Then right now I'll be joining him. We'll be doing a little concert tour in Japan in March. We're working on an album. I also am working on more solo album work. I released a Christmas album length. Um, I have API month in May. I'll be working with the San Diego Symphony, putting together an arrangement and bringing the group in. That's another passion of mine is getting to work on productions and also getting to write scores. And because I got to have my undergrad at Occidental College.
Okay.
I did a little triple major with business economics and then music, and of course that helps me now as a musician and helping my family, but helping other musicians how to access the career of what it means to be a musician.
Yeah.
Getting involved, knowing how to hold yourself in conversation, but also for myself, the Moana tour was another kick in the direction for me to get back into writing and reading in terms of music and scores. It kind of helped me on that path to be able to give back to our communities and other avenues. And
Sweet.
that's always been one of my biggest passions. Is of course, music has always been part of my life and will always be. But education, giving back, performing, it's all just forms of connection. And for me, the instrument is just a piece of wood, but we're the instrument, and we're telling the stories of our kupuna for our next generation, but also giving the flowers to them while they stay here. And
we've been doing a talk with Abe Lagrimas, had a nice little chat with him. Same thing with Kale Gamayao.
yeah,
And just a little while ago, I talked with Steve Spinola. And the recurring theme through it all, which is beautiful, and you just hit right on that in terms of the kuleana that we feel, passing it on to the next generation of musicians and artists and singers and creators too, right? Setting that path and setting that example, teaching others, and this is what I'm hearing from you as well, right? While forging ahead, being aware that sharing those skills and sharing your mana'o and sharing all of your helping others get ma'a to what's going on, it's a beautiful thing.
Yeah.
To do that,
Thank you.
Yeah,
I feel that one of my greatest missions, especially right now with a lot of musicians here in our community, is um, trying to get more of our youth involved. I feel like for me, I'm one of the leads for Disney for all of our Hawaiian Polynesian music. And we just had another round of auditions, and we're onboarding some new musicians and some musicians that I love, and I can't wait to have a part of our team. But part of that discourse really comes from, yes, playing music is a lot of fun, and we get to share our gift, and the key is we get to play. Our job is to play every day, and that's what we do. But the most important thing is, yes, that's all great, but one of the greatest ways to share your story is through music, and to celebrate each other. And I feel, a lot of people feel musicians are kind of a dying breed, especially in cultural settings. And for Hawaiian Polynesian musicians, we don't have many that are working in our communities. And that's one of my missions is to create more paths that can allow people to make a living, even in San Diego, playing a niche.
Well, while we're talking about that, I would be remiss, and I know I'm going to get a phone call if I don't mention Heali'i's Polynesian Revue. Near and dear to our hearts over here. Your mom will be calling me.
This is fair. This is fair.
And sister.
Yeah.
And sister.
Yeah. Yeah, they had a punch in me. I'm kidding.
But whenever I think of San Diego and when we think of anything of the Polynesian cultures, there, Heali'i's, your mom's uh, Polynesian group is so well known in the area, and I'm sure you're finding space for them in whatever production you're doing as well.
Yeah.
Because that's all right.
That's always. That's the most important thing. Is like I went on my first tour as a dancer at 2 years old. Like it's always one of those funny stories.
Get pictures.
Yeah, oh, funny.
I gotta get pictures.
Yeah, but that's where it's really powerful. Is obviously, like you said, realizing who we are and what spaces when. But like for me growing up, getting to be just the little nephew, rambuck just running around, going up to all the aunties and uncles and saying, "Hey, watch me play," or "Can I play?" or something. And my uncles and aunties being Uncle Willie, Uncle Ernie Cruz, of course, Makala Sons, Brother Casimiro, Auntie Genoa, everybody. So it's just for me now getting to be in positions that now my job, my kuleana is to create spaces for more people.
Yes.
Is at the same time, no matter what we're doing, making sure you always keep spaces, like I said, for our elders, but also our youth. And so I pulled back a little bit this past year, but I was teaching closer to about 850 students a week. Hawaiian Polynesian music via ukulele, olelo, and stuff like that in San Diego. And now I have my brother and sister taking over most of my schools. And now I'm focusing back more on recording and still performing. But
Beautiful.
I strongly feel, to be able to be involved in our culture means you don't have to choose one path, but the path is aloha, which in its true essence is to give, right?
Absolutely.
And for me, the gifts, if we have a gift, whether it be dancing, music, telling stories, a gift is only a gift if we give, right? And so for us, yeah, we are stewards of our community, of our people, of our culture. But I really want to kind of hit the hammer on the head in terms of creating spaces for not only more people to feel that it's fun, because it is fun, but to provide opportunities that they can actually pursue it as a career. And always, I'm open. Anybody has any questions on that? But and myself, a good friend of mine, Tina Fulo Gray, maybe Nadia Ufao, we're working on trying to create more paths and more opportunities for people. And the byproduct, happens to be that I get to have fun every day. I get to, tell our stories. I get to go to different cities and meet new people. But that's not what I do and why.
Sure.
The goal is to try to become a better person, and I try to have the person on stage, that guy, try to be as good as the one off stage and work on every day. No more am I flipping a switch. I just want to be myself. Whether that means I'm a little tired today because maybe they want to let me sleep before I drove up here, that's fine. But I really feel in this age, especially now with AI stuff, being always true to yourself and authentic will always open more paths than that. That's why I always love you and getting to talk to
mahalo,
you.
man. Thanks for
Is
sharing
being
that,
true.
man.
Yeah.
Thanks for sharing that, man. Very encouraging, very inspirational. You know, for the kupuna now, it's time as we look forward, the next generation to pick up the proverbial torch, if you will, right? And so,
You're still young.
folks like mahalo,
After out there.
folks like yourself, as you mentioned, doing that and setting that example and encouragement and inspiration for that next generation. It's a beautiful thing, man. Mahalo. Hey, thanks for coming by Talking Story with us, bro.
Always, always.
I tell you, man. You just joined us. Hey, you late. You have to watch earlier because we had some good stuff. I know, right? Been talking to brother Kauka Stanley over here on his work and his journey, and he is a new papa as well. Congratulations. What is baby's name?
Jade. Jade Noah Kaioluhia Stanley. And shout out to my wife, Cassie.
I should say.
Thank you for letting me come here today.
Yeah, I should say.
Yeah, she's holding down the fort.
Oh, that's good. All right. Kamaka Brown here for Samajana and Social Network saying mahalo for watching and checking us out. We see you next time. We hope.